Hey there guys, my apologies for the extended hiatus, but I think today's project is going to more than make up for it. It's essentially the most exciting video you never knew that you needed to see. I'm going to be making a creeper today, not to be confused with the windowless white van in a grocery store parking lot offering free candy to kids, or the creepy old guy who's always trying to sniff other people's kids. You know what I mean? But rather, I'm going to be making the automotive style creeper that you can use to get under a vehicle and work on things. So let me show you how I made it, and I'll test it out, show it rolling in the dirt as well as on concrete, and then I'll give you some closing comments. So the first thing I need to do in this off-road creeper build is to create a framework where my oversized 5-inch caster wheels are going to mount to. And for that, I'm going to use some 3-inch by 4-inch by 1/8-inch thick steel tubing. And what I'm going to do is cut it in a manner where it's going to look like a W. There's going to be a wing here. It's going to angle down here where my platform will mount to, and then it'll have another wing there. And that is where the wheels will mount to. It should give me about a 2-inch clearance from the platform where I'll be laying on. And as you see me cutting, it should make a little bit more sense. And then after that, I will make the platform, headrest, and all that stuff. So at this point, probably makes a little bit better sense on what I was trying to go for, with the winged section being where the caster is going to go, and this lower section right here is where the board that I'm going to lay on is going to sit. And one thing I didn't point out, though, you may notice that I left a little lip here. This is about a 7/8 of an inch lip, and then on this front side it's close to flush. Well, the reason for that is because if I cut both of these sides flush for the board to sit as low as possible, this is only 1/8-inch thick steel. Eventually it'd start sagging or bending, but by leaving this lip here gives a little bit extra strength, so it's essentially like a piece of angle, but then the board can still rest in here. I'll have a washer on each one of these holes, so it'll flush it up with this front lip, but that is essentially just to keep a little bit of extra strength in this. So I think now I'm going to paint this, and then we will build the board section. For the first test, I'll take it over this concrete expansion joint just to prove it's not your ordinary creeper, and then I will test it out on the dirt. Obviously it rolls well on concrete, but being that I don't have a big shop, when I've worked on my DIY travel trailer project or horse trailer project, I'm always out here in the dirt. So I really needed something like this that can move in the dirt. So this is the ultimate test right here. That's pretty good. Okay, got it? Yep. Alright guys, well I think that's going to do it for this project. As always, I hope you found it interesting, and perhaps it'll give you some ideas in case you want to tackle a similar style project. I doubt many people want to build their own creeper when you can probably just buy one for 30 or 40 bucks, or maybe at a yard sale for 15 or 20 bucks. But if you're like me and you like to make stuff, I don't know, I thought this was a fun little project, and I also liked the idea that I was able to just use the tubing to make the brackets out of the tubing. So as I mentioned probably in the title, it's a no weld creeper with metal legs and all that kind of cool stuff. So those of you who always get on to me about welding something and say it's not DIY, well, here you go. You just need an angle grinder that you probably get for 10 or 15 bucks and some cutoff wheels, and you can definitely build something like this. One thing I did want to point out, because I'm sure somebody will mention it, did I consider putting a little tray that would slide out from the bottom to hold like wrenches and bolts and stuff like that? I did, and I started looking around at some of those magnetic trays, and honestly I just didn't want to spend the money right now. So perhaps in the future maybe I'll do upgrades on that, put a little slide out tray and like a little light or something. I don't know, maybe a magnetic thing on the side to hold that kind of stuff. But that's pretty much it for this. As for what is to come up next, I mentioned in one of my last videos that I'm going to definitely be doing a greenhouse project, and I have actually been working quite a bit on the greenhouse, building a retaining wall and some fold-out windows. So maybe I'll show you a couple clips of that now, just to make good on my word that there is content coming on the sunken greenhouse. And then I think the next project you're going to see is I finally got the water filter system that arrived. So that's going to get installed on the pump house project. So for the first time in over 15 years, our whole house will have filtered water from the rainwater, which previously we just had filtered water for like cooking and drinking water. So anyway, it should be pretty interesting. And I think that is going to do it. So until the next video, which is not going to be a month or two away, it's going to be about a week. I will see you guys next time. God bless.